This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. I find it just as difficult as you to imagine that there are people that get anything out of these lick lessons, but here we are, and this is where some people do. David Montgomery on Patreon asked me to break down this little lick from an existing lick lesson, and I thought, well, why not? If Patreon will be the place to get the tabs, backing track, I'm not exactly sure when this video is going to go up. It'll be on a Monday though, but yeah, hopefully you get something out of it. Start nice and slow with this, I think. This is going to be essentially a legato focused lick, and we are going to be concerning ourselves with the key of F major. Focusing on this kind of area here, and I guess you could think about this as sort of a C mixolydian position or a B flat position, but we're going to be kind of doing quite a bit of stretchy legato, and for this we're kind of melding these two positions of the pentatonic major scale. So this one here, our straightforward D minor, which is obviously the same as F major, and then this one here. So as a primer for the lesson, I might try doing this sort of thing. Because that is a fairly key part of the DNA of this lick. Important also to try and keep a relatively relaxed hand for this. You don't want to give yourself a hernia. So we're going to start off our lick here on the 7th fret. And we get this kind of rhythm. Starting on the 7th fret, and we're going to go 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 7. And that's how we're going to start the lick. And so that's happening 1, 2. So we're kind of starting off with a dotted quaver into 5 semiquavers, 1, and then our main legato lick starts here on the 10th fret with our pinky. So we're going to do this next part with triplet feel. That's our first kind of set of 6 notes. So 10, 8, 10, 7, 10, 7, and then we're going to jump like that for our next set of notes. So 8, 10, 7, 10, 7, 12. Like that. And if you break it down in this kind of way, I think it should become fairly manageable. Okay. Okay, and then for our next bar, we jump back down to the 7th fret. 7, and this is maybe the most difficult part, 7, 10, 12. So some of you might find that a little bit of a difficult stretch. I'll maybe write it out on Patreon a couple of frets higher so that you get a slightly smaller stretch. So 7, 10, 12, 8, 13, 8. That's our next 6 notes. So altogether you'd get... Okay. And then we get 10, 13, 8, 10, 13, back to 10. Okay, so that maybe you meld these together into that first kind of, this part here is all sextuplets, so that can make it quite a nice little exercise. Okay, so big stretch, and I messed that up, but you get the idea. Okay, and then from here we are going to kind of try and cram a few more notes in. So this is written out as septuplets, so 7 notes per subdivision, but really this is born from the idea of kind of trying to land on the beat. So you might notice that this note of the next bar does land on the beat, but I'm sort of just cramming the legato line together. So this isn't anything that was practiced intentionally, it's something that has happened because I'm conscious of landing on the beat. So it's sort of an instinct thing. So we're going to start on the 8th fret. And we get this double note. So 8, 13, 8, 10, 13, 10, 8. So that's our first group of 7 notes, I think. And then we come down to our 12th fret, 12, 10, 12, 10, 9, 12, 10, 12. So again, just practice that slowly. And yeah, I wouldn't be trying to count those notes, rather kind of just feel where the bar line ends and sort of speed up the line. If you're kind of starting off slowly and building up to speed, I would use something like Reaper or YouTube Slowdown and try and kind of just get the line, if you play it along with me, kind of in repetition, then hopefully that should start to feel a little bit more natural. That end part of there is not something that comes from anything but instinct, really. Okay, so all together we get something like... something like that. Right, okay, so slowly. It's got quite a nice kind of flow to it. I really like the sound of these. Kind of wider stretch legato patterns, maybe a little bit Eddie Van Halen-ish, maybe a little bit Alan Holdsworth-ish, just a lot worse because I'm just an English bloke from Devon. It does kind of feel quite natural to me. I guess that would make sense because it was me who improvised it, but it may take you a little bit of time to get this kind of idea under your fingers. Don't feel bad about that. I think when I have to learn other people's licks and sometimes my own licks, it does take a bit of brute force. In terms of picking, I'll be picking in the direction of string changes, kind of economy, and picking sort of one note per group of notes on a string, you know, very much left-hand focus. So I think that should be achievable for you. Just start nice and slowly. And when I'm getting up flat here, my left hand is kind of with the thumb in the middle of it. No chance of playing that kind of line with your thumb over it. The thumb probably needs to be kind of around the skunk stripe. David, there you go. That video is specifically for you, I guess. But yeah, the idea of stretching these legato patterns into kind of 2 pentatonic boxes can yield some really cool results. And in terms of timing, I'm really focusing on where the bar starts and where it ends. In between these legato lines can become kind of, they generally start off potentially quite strong sextuplets, but by the end I'm kind of building pace, not essentially deliberately or consciously, but being conscious of where the beat is and trying to land on the beat. That's how that happened. Hopefully you can get something out of that lesson. On Patreon I'll put the backing track in a couple of speeds with that lick kind of playing repetitiously, and also I'll put it up a couple of keys for any of you guys who find the wider stretches a bit tricky. I'll catch you in another video soon. Please feel free to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me that you bother to watch this channel. Cheers.